Happy Monday, everybody. You get to see me do my makeup because I'm multitasking today. But I had this thought while I was driving, dropping off my youngest at school, and wanted to share this with you because it's actually been on my heart for a while. I just, had things going on that I was not able to get on here and share this. And wanted to share with you some things that I've been observing in our Happy Hormones community and the women that I'm talking with on a regular basis. And that is how survival mode is keeping you stuck and how it's influencing your hormones. Because, how many of you, I'm just wondering, those of you watching, are feeling impacted in some way by the economic crisis, by the gas prices, the food, changes in food pricing. And when I say impacted by, I mean personally impacted by, or it's causing you more stress in this season than it has in previous seasons. If you just want to give a thumbs up or a heart or a like while you're watching this, or yep, that's totally me. I want to let you know, first of all, that you're not alone, because this is happening to everybody, the majority of people, whether they know it or not, whether they like it or not. And I've really just been, trying to think of what's a meaningful way that I can share my observations as a holistic practitioner, as a registered nurse, as a health coach, as a life coach, some strategies that we can use to get out of this. So I want to talk really quickly about why this matters for our hormones. So when we are stuck in fight or flight, if you're not aware of it, is not just for people with PTSD. Everybody experiences fight or flight at some point in their life, whether that be when somebody slams on their brakes in front of you on the freeway, or whether you're in a true life-threatening situation like, a car accident or life-threatening illness or something like that. Everybody experiences that fight or flight. And what that means is your body begins to prioritize survival over thriving and normal everyday function. And hopefully you guys can hear me okay. This is okay. And so when that happens, there's a lot of different processes that change, but I want to talk primarily about what happens in the brain, okay? So when we are in prolonged periods of stress, anxiety, fight or flight, our blood flow begins to move from healthy normal blood flow to the prefrontal cortex into the limbic system in our brain, which is basically if you were to draw a line here, it would be, somewhere in the middle of your brain around there. And the limbic system is responsible for processing emotions, and keeping us surviving, right? It does not help us to thrive or make decisions for our future generally in a very positive way. So when our limbic system is running the show, it's telling us all we have to do today is survive. That's all we have to do. And when this is going on for a prolonged period of time, which if you think of, mothering, if you think of, the postpartum period, if you think of, raising children and being up every night for multiple years on end, if you think of just all of the things that we go through, that is a prolonged period of stress. And over time, it not only changes the structure of the brain, but that the HPA axis, the hypothalamus, pituitary, adrenal axis, begins to become very out of balance. And what that does is that directly impacts our progesterone and therefore our estrogen production. And progesterone, if you're not aware of it, is actually responsible for having a healthy, balanced, calm mood throughout your cycle. It's why most women feel typically their best in that first and second trimester of pregnancy, is because of those high levels of progesterone. And so when the HPA axis is out of balance, it throws off our progesterone, which over periods of time, not only are we dealing with, high periods of stress, the depletion of nutrients, but now our progesterone is starting to tank. And now we are having even wonkier periods because we didn't actually do anything to protect ourselves during those high periods of stress. So when I really started working with women, it was about a year before the pandemic. And sorry, it's hard to focus on my eyeliner and talk at the same time. This is real life here, guys. This is how we get things done. And when the pandemic hit, we had a very similar response to what's happening right now, which is people moving from, I want to have happy, balanced hormones so that I'm not, losing my crap on my family, so that we can have a healthy future, so that my kids grow up to think of me as a happy mom, to I'm just trying to survive this. And that's a normal physiologic response to stress. However, if we don't get out of it, it will only actually make our hormone problems worse. And what I want to challenge you to think about today is, how is that impacting you right now? So your mood swings, your irritability, your fatigue, your PMS symptoms, bloating, constipation, diarrhea, all of that stuff, insomnia, anxiety. How is that impacting your ability to show up for your family, your job in this, in this environment that we're in? Because we are all, for the most part, impacted by this in some way, shape, or form. And so we have to make a decision to prioritize our health, our emotional, physical health, so that when we come out of it, because we will come out of a recession just like we have before, when we come out of it, we're not worse for wear, right? And so that's what we're seeing with women in the Happy Hormones program who have, they've prioritized themselves. They are, putting their foot forward 1 week at a time, balancing their hormones so that they can be there for thrive in this season that is actually very challenging. And so I just want to share with you that there has actually never been a better time for you to work on balancing your hormones than right now. Because the impact of you not balancing your hormones right now is going to cost more, if that makes sense. So I don't know if this, this encourages you, if this helps you, if it kind of gives some language to what you're feeling. But if you have been experiencing that like fight or flight, definitely higher levels of anxiety in the last month or so, you're noticing that your periods are out of whack, your irritability is much higher, then I actually want to invite you to our upcoming 3-day workshop, because we're going to be talking all about this, but in way more detail. So we're going to be talking about what your symptoms actually mean, what your doctor, why whatever advice your doctor's given you has not helped you, and then what you can do about it. So this is a paid workshop. It's $27. It is loaded with bonuses, and one of those bonuses actually includes a 20-minute consultation with me. So you don't want to miss it. We only have 20 spots available. So I'm going to drop the link here below. But if you have found yourself in that survival mode, in that fight or flight, and you just want some strategies and tools to get out of it, then I highly encourage you to sign up while there's still room. Thanks for watching.